to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest of all.
Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
Good evening, Miami Dolphins fans. How are you today? And thank you for listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast. On this Thursday, March 13th, I am your host, Michael Leva, joined, as I am each week, by Doug Lee Durong from right here at DolphinsTalk.com. Doug, God, this organization can find a way to suck the enjoyment out of free agency. How are you doing tonight?
I was good until about what? When did this break? About 46 minutes ago.
Whatever. Yeah, and I know, look, I know what I said Tuesday. We will address this on the show, but we have so much to talk about. I will address it. Look, people in the chat are already asking me. People on Twitter are blowing me up. I know what I said, and I might stand by it. I don't know. But before we get to everything, quick shout out to the sponsor of today's show, Caneswear. Everyone go to caneswear.com for the best Miami Dolphins apparel on the internet. That's right. Go to the website, caneswear.com. If you need a Miami Dolphins hat, hoodie, t-shirt, golf shirt, polo, whatever, socks, you need something for your car, something for your house with the Miami Dolphins logo on it, caneswear.com. They also have stuff for the Miami Heat, Florida Panthers, Miami Hurricanes, Miami Marlins, and all that. Everyone go to caneswear.com. Also, patreon.com/Dolphins Talk, Dolphins Talk Extra, bonus podcast. We have contests. You have a chance right now to win a Tyreek Hill mini bobblehead doll. We have all that stuff covered. $3 a month. You can't beat the price. Patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. All right, let's talk about some of the signings other than that today. The Miami Dolphins signed KJ Britt, linebacker from Tampa Bay, going to be 26 in June, was a former fifth-round pick by Tampa in 2021. Doug, a little bit of a run stuffer here more than someone in pass coverage. Last year, he started 11 games for Tampa, played 14, 72 tackles, half a sack. Just an old school run stuffing linebacker, not someone you want to get caught out there in coverage. Your thoughts on the KJ Britt signing?
Yeah, it's kind of, and obviously Anthony Walker goes to Tampa, so
Tampa, yes.
A lot of people, Adam Schefter said it was like a trading places, and a lot of people thought we traded. I'm like, no, they were free agents. Yeah, I see him more as like a Duke Riley type, like a special teamer, situational type linebacker. They definitely still need, like, I love Dotson and Brooks being in there, but they definitely still need a linebacker.
They need Jihad Campbell in round one is what they need.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Round out the room. Yeah, just round. I mean, he's younger than Walker and he's less injury prone than Walker. That's why I kind of like this move. Walker was great last year when he had to play, but he's also a guy, again, like a lot of guys in Miami, who's always injured. And I think for Miami, they just went younger and someone who's a little bit more durable. So I don't mind that move. Dolphins then, in sort of another swap, as Raheem Mostert signed with the Raiders. So what did the Miami Dolphins do? They signed Raiders running back Alexander Mattison. And I know a lot of fans, look, I know last week we spoke about J.K. Dobbins, and I know a lot of fans are kind of hoping for more of that old school, bigger, bruising back. Again, these guys, that's not what they are, who they are. They don't want that type of back. Now, Madison is pretty good in short yardage, don't get me wrong, but he's not built that way, I'd say. He's going to be 27 in June, former third-round pick. Last year in Vegas, he caught 36 passes. He's caught over 30 passes 3 times since he's been in the NFL, so he's got soft hands. Last year, he started 7 games, played 14, ran 420, caught 4, and ran for 4 touchdowns. Look, he's going to compete to be the number 2 running back. I don't have a big problem with it.
Yeah, no. Some people did. Some people saw that move and were like, "Oh, he sucks here." He's number 3. Like, I think he's competing to be the number 3. I think you have Achan and you have Jalen Wright as your 1-2 punch. That was the move going forward. That's why they let Raheem Mostert go. And they're going to draft somebody. I would be shocked if they don't take a running back in the 3rd round. You know how Mike McDaniel loves his running backs. Take that Miami Hurricane running back in the 3rd round if he's still there. Yeah, I like this move. And, I think he was like, what was he, like 24 for 26 or like 23 for 26 on like 3rd and shorts? Like he's like a really productive.
Yeah, but he's not built that way, so people don't think of him as that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he is at the end of the day. So again, I don't have a problem with either one of those signings. And plus, here's the thing with Mostert. We all love Mostert. Mostert is always injured when you need him the most. Every year, late in the year, when you got a big game or even like a playoff game, he's just not available. They had to get younger, and they have to get someone who actually plays. So I think with both of those moves, they get a little bit younger and guys who are a little bit more durable. I'm fine with both of them. Again, I'm going to save Liam for the end of the show. Let's talk. I mean, I don't have it in me. So
I don't blame you.
Before we talk about the future and what might be next, the signings this week. Let's start. I want to get your opinion on Zach Wilson. I have spoken about it a lot. I did not have a problem with it. I know a lot of fans of Dolphins are going nuts. We gave this guy $6 million, 8-year money, and plus $6 million for a number 2 quarterback. Really ain't that bad in my eyes. What were your thoughts on the Zach Wilson signing? I didn't mind it, but I know a lot of fans do.
I didn't hate it, but it wasn't even in my radar of backup quarterbacks. I was more looking at like a Jameis Winston, Gardner Minshew type. I know Gardner Minshew is apparently dealing with an injury. I think he got released off.
Just signed 5 minutes ago with the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's gonna win a ring. I'm okay with it. He's got athleticism. We've seen what he can do. He's horrible at decision making. Maybe Mike McDaniel can fix that. I wish they would have got him for cheaper. I feel like they could have got him for cheaper, but $6 million, that could be $10 million, sure. But at this point, I went into this season with these two in McDaniel and Greer and had the lowest of expectations. And the funny thing is, they're exceeding that.
Yeah, I mean,
and I try not to be negative, but it's like they haven't done anything.
Well, that was like the main point of the show I did last night with Ian, which I want to get your perspective on this too. Has the team, like, since Monday, and I know people, it's only 4 days. I know, but like, it's only 4 days, but like, this is it, guys. I mean, yeah, they're going to sign guys like Liam Eichenberg again. But like the main signings have kind of taken place for the most part. Has this team improved as of today? I know it's going to change. I know they can find someone. I mean, they're going to sign a guy or two every few days probably, but are they going to be like impact guys? Probably not. Has this team, in your eyes, since the end of last season, improved, gotten worse, or is it about the same?
Got a little worse.
It's about the same to worse.
Yeah, they got better at the safety position. Same at the linebacker position. Worse at offensive line, which is funny to say. A little bit better at offensive line. I think James Daniels, again, the motto for 2025 is
if they stay healthy.
Yeah, there you go. Defensive line, they got no one. They still have not addressed defensive line. I understand that the defensive line for this draft is deep, but you're not going to take 4 defensive linemen in this draft. Like, it's just, that's not what's going to happen.
Don't say they won't. That's a dare Chris Greer will take you up on.
Oh, man. I'm about to look at all the offensive guards that were still available.
Oh, I have a list, which I'm going to talk about next. But again, there's guys available, but Cameron Wolf, he said this last year and he was right. And he said this last week and he was right. And he said this last night on the NFL Network again. The Dolphins are not going to spend big money. They want value signings, mid-level contracts, low-level contracts. The names that are still out there, which we will talk about at the end of the show, aren't guys that are going to get mid-level to low-level contracts. That guy from the Bears, Tavon Jenkins, he ain't coming here because we won't pay him what it will take to get him. And after we just signed Liam, James Daniel, the guy from the Bears, like, I'm not saying we're done on the offensive line, but you only carry 9 in season. We got about 8 or 9 now. You might take 1 or 2 in the draft. I think we're done signing guys. I would have to think maybe they re-sign Wynn just to annoy me. But like I don't think they're going to spend big money here on out. So yeah, I mean they've made their signings, and it's safety. They've added guys, but the best player of the group of who they lost is still Holland. I know he was bad last year. He's still better than anyone we signed at the end of the day, which is saying something. But they got guys. I don't know if they put it this way. I don't know if they have 2 starting safeties, but they got a lot of safety depth. Fede Malafanu from Syracuse, who I know very well, he's great when he's healthy, which isn't often. And so, yeah, you can pencil him in as a starter, but is he going to give you 5 or 6 games, or is he going to give you 15 games? That's $1 million question nobody has the answer to.
Yeah. I had to write his name down. The funny thing is, like, I phonetically had to write Fatu Melifanu, his name down.
I know I'm going to say it wrong 1 million times, and I've seen him his whole college career. I saw every home game he played in college. I still can't say his name. I'm like scratching my head with this one. And if they do bring back Isaiah Wynn, it's just like you said, Liam Eichenberg. Like, seriously, you drafted him. You've seen him play. You've seen him practice. You know that he's to the people who are like, oh, he's just a backup. Oh, I addressed this. Yeah.
And I'm gonna, when this is over, I'm gonna make my rant and everything too. It's all the backups play in Miami. So don't tell me he's just a backup. You know why? No one stays healthy. And the one offensive lineman we signed is coming off an Achilles injury. Watch our luck. He'll have a setback in week 1. Liam's gonna be starting. For those who don't know what I said, it's like 1:56. I'm going to play it because people might not know because they might miss the show Tuesday, but it is getting a lot of attention. So I'm going to play. Let's just talk about it now because it is the elephant in the room. If they re-sign Liam Eichenberg, DolphinsTalk.com ends that moment. And I am not joking. The podcast goes away. The website goes away. I'm going to take the website and I'll take the podcast and I'm going to put up a sign. Gone fishing. It's over. I ain't doing this. Because I cannot treat them as a serious franchise if they bring them back. And again, nothing personal. Sure, Liam's a nice guy, got a great family, got a great life, made a lot of money. Great. I cannot watch this team continue to make the same mistake over and over and over. And he is the poster child for that. I know there's a lot of examples from the general manager to the head coach to other players on the roster, but he is literally the poster child. He's failed at all 5 spots on the offensive line. And if they have any notion to bring him back, I'm done. I'm out. I don't need the NFL in my life that bad. I'm 47 years old. I can find other things to occupy my time if they are going to waste my time re-signing that guy. So it better not happen. Because if it does, I'm done. And I know nobody cares, but I'm telling you, I'm done.
That would be funny if we posted a live, like we were going to go live, and then the background just says "gone fishing" for 30 minutes, and then it shut off. Would be hilarious.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of like The Sopranos cutting it black.
I mean, everyone has a breaking point. That's mine. Okay, I lived through Jesse Davis, and I lived through some of these other things.
We did.
You know, I can't do it with Liam again. And again, not personal. I'm sure he's a great guy. Yeah. But if this franchise wants to even try to move forward and try and win, and I don't want to hear the spin, well, we're just signing him to be a backup. No, you know why? Because everyone gets hurt in Miami, and all the backups eventually play. So I don't want him in Miami to play, even if 3 guys get hurt. Let's put in good old Liam. No, got to stop at some point. Am I wrong with anything I said?
No, well.
Not about shutting the site down.
Yeah. you might have shot yourself in the foot with that one, but no, outside of that, yeah, no. I'm about, like I said, when we get done with this show, I'm about to. This might be as bad. No, it's not going to be as bad when I found out that they retained McDaniel and Greer. That one was bad, but it's up there because it makes no sense. And again, on Twitter, I'm seeing people try to defend it.
They're going to defend it. Because they're just jock-sniffing losers. I mean, just calling it like it is. You cannot defend this, folks. He has been bad at every position they put him in. And again, it's not personal. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh, man, don't pick on. He's probably, like I say, he's probably a nice guy. It's not about that. It's about what's this franchise? What are they doing? Like, as I always say, people pay good money to go to these games. People like you and me, we actually have to fly down there, pay for flights, hotel, food, we fly down there to go to these games. And it's like, it's an insult to our intelligence. Again, I don't need to be Vince Lombardi to know that guy can't play. He damn sure shouldn't start, and he damn sure can't be a backup even, because every time I see him on the field, there's a play where he's on his butt and someone's running by him. And it's happened. It's not just one play here, one play there. It happens far too often for a normal NFL offensive lineman. It's just insulting on every level. And he's, again, he's just not that good. And I don't know. I mean, I understand you're trying to be fiscal, cap management. There isn't anyone else you could have signed. Literally, you could have signed whoever the Cleveland version of Liam Eichenberg is, and I would have been happier because, like, let's try something different. But I know how this is going to end.
Bring in. I'm looking at a list. Lucas Patrick. You ever heard of him? No. Bring him in.
Bring him in.
Fred Johnson. I don't know who that is. Bring him in.
Name. Bring him in. There's got to be somebody else than this. But that's why people are sort of frustrated and fed up with Chris Greer, and I get it. Like I said it. I was anti-Greer before it became cool, and it's just Frank the Tank. I won't say the tweet he put up, but you can go find it. He is not a happy, and Frank, not a happy man right now. Not a happy man.
And he's a Mets fan, just like me too. So he's like,
well, I mean, at least you got Juan Soto, but I don't. You guys might jinx that up too. Right. Watch him blow an AC out. But it's like, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. And again, I know people can say, well, it's just a backup, or there's still the draft. Have you seen Chris Greer's recent drafts where you have hope? You got 11 picks right now, which is great. But I don't know. Let's talk about something else because I just can't keep.
Yeah, let's.
Before we get to some of the guys who are still out there, the signing I like the best so far is wide receiver Nick Westbrook.
100%.
2 years, 6.5, 3.2 guaranteed. Guy caught 9 touchdowns on 32 receptions from Mason Rudolph and Will Levis. Now, I mean, that's impressive. I think he really is, and he actually solves a problem. Number 3 wide receiver, check, solved. And we haven't done that a lot really so far this week, but he actually solves a problem. I think the offensive lineman I see from Pittsburgh solves a problem if he's healthy, but with him, I don't have to put the caveat if he's healthy. We know he's healthy. So what were your thoughts on that signing? Yeah,
I love that signing. That's literally what I was asking for them to do. I wanted them to get Matt Collins. Matt Collins went to New England. He's taking the Ryan Fitzpatrick route. So going out and getting Westbrook is perfect. I was watching the video and film on him, and I think they were on like the opponent's 25, and he ran like a deep fade to the back corner, and it was just like, it's exactly what we needed to stop throwing fades to Tyreek Hill when it doesn't make any sense. But I got to stop bringing it up. It's like stuck in the back of my head because I was just about to say, if they're bringing back Liam Eichenberg, they're obviously going to keep throwing fades to Tyreek Hill in the end zone.
Yeah, probably will. I mean, that's the thing. They are so. And we spoke about this a lot on the show we do with Zach Krantz and stuff, how they're just arrogant.
Yeah.
No matter how many times it fails, so we know this is the right thing to do. We're going to keep doing it. It is arrogance, and as I've always said, arrogance has gotten a lot of people fired in this league, and it will be the downfall of both of these guys. But yeah, it's just pure arrogance. Okay. The main topic of the show tonight, which I wanted to talk about before Liam threw us in a loop, was who's still left out there. Some guys Miami might go for. Again, we know the Cameron Wolf report, which has been spot on, that they're not spending money. So some of these guys might be just too expensive. But I think there's a few names here that might not be, and who might be in play for Miami. So I have a list. I'm going to go by position group, and if you got some names to throw in there, throw them in there. Cornerback hasn't been addressed, and we need another veteran corner. The 4 names out there that I'm seeing that might be in play are Asante Samuel, but he has a shoulder injury that sounds really bad, which is probably scaring teams off. Rasul Douglas. Mike Hilton, probably be too expensive for Miami, so I'd probably cross him off. And the name that's probably the most intriguing, even though he's 34, Stephon Gilmore, coming off a great year, actually. But the age kind of scares me. You think one of those 4? You got anyone else at corner? They have to sign a corner, I think.
Those are the exact names that I have. Stephon Gilmore, Asante.
Right here.
Yeah, right. Asante Samuel Jr. and Rasul Douglas. Yeah, all of them kind of had a little bit better of a year or have had better years. Like Rasul Douglas, bad year last year, but prior to that was consistently good. And I think coming into this defense with Weaver can definitely help those situations. Yeah, like I was leaning towards Stephon Gilmore, but again, like you, it's the age. You know, we'd have not knocking Ramsey, but we'd have pretty old corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm kind of leaning more towards Rasul Douglas now, and then pray to God
Mike
that
Hilton's the answer, but I know he's going to want way too much in what we'll probably pay. But he's really the guy. But again, this is where the whiff on Cam Smith really hurts Miami, because if Cam Smith was even a serviceable corner, you could say it's not that bad. But since he's not, we actually have to get somebody. So we'll see at corner. Safety, they might not be done. Because again, the guys they signed really aren't. I reached out, this is no joke, to a guy who covers the Jets, a Jets beat reporter. I go, tell me about Ashton Davis. His answer, LMAO, good luck. That was his answer. He goes, streaky player. Some plays are good. A lot of plays are bad. Gets lost in coverage. So again, he's not a starter. He's a backup. And if we start him, it's probably going to be a long year. So if they go somewhere else, and that was from a Jets beat reporter, no joke. Julian Blackman, who I like a lot, actually, and Justin Simmons, who seems like every year he's a free agent, and every year he's always being rumored, and he just never comes here. But those are the two names I would see at safeties might be realistic options.
I like Quandre Diggs as well. I'd throw him in there. I got Justin Simmons and Quandre Diggs. I like the way Quandre Diggs was playing last year.
One day before we die in Miami.
And it's funny too, because last off season after the draft, I was sitting here and I was like, get me Quandre Diggs or Justin Simmons or both. I'm like, go get both if they're still available. You're gonna need it. He runs a three safety set, and they were like, meh. And that everyone was like, why? You don't trust in Javon Holland? Why do you need two more safeties? We got Poyer and Holland. People get hurt, man. People get hurt.
And plus, Jordan Poyer, that handwriting was on the wall from 1 year prior. No one wanted to believe it, but that handwriting was on the wall with Poyer. Defensive end. Now, this is not tackle. This is end.
Okay.
And I'm going to tie this in with just edge rusher, too. I'm going to lump them all together. So, Calais Campbell, we all know about. I think that's going to be more of a summer thing. He's going to wait and see how everything shakes out after the draft. And if Miami looks like a competitive team, maybe he'll come back. Or if not, he's going to sound like the Ravens or the Lions. So Campbell, I think that's not going to happen soon. Azeez Ojulari is a guy I want, right? He's only 24. He gets sacks. He's young. The problem is they're going to have to restructure Jordan Brooks or even maybe Tua to probably pay him. But again, check a box. This solves an answer. Solves a problem. That's one name. Now, you want to go to edge. Matthew Judon, who Chris Greer tried trading for last year. Now, he had a down year last year. But again, you could probably get him relatively cheap 1 year deal. So that's fine with me. Dante Fowler had 10.5 sacks last year, but he's going to be 31. Long career. Probably going to be expensive coming off 10.5 sacks. But again, probably get him for a 1 year deal. Maybe something like what they offered Joey Bosa, because to me, they're kind of one and the same. I wouldn't be against that. Za'Darius Smith, 33.
I don't even have to read my list.
Okay, 33 though. So again, probably a 1 year deal. And the last name I don't want, but I know Chris Greer, he's going to be on the list, is Von Miller. Damaged goods, but I know Chris Greer probably loves him because of all the injuries. And that's just going to drive me nuts. So you like a lot of those names, but you would say Azeez Ojulari is probably top of that list, though, right?
Yeah, he's my number one. And if you go on PFF, they normally have like projected contracts. I guess because he hasn't been really good, but he's been like he gets a lot of pressure and sacks, but he hasn't been like consistently good. They only have him at a 1 year, $5 million contract. And if the Dolphins can pull that off, that'd be fantastic.
I'd pay him over freaking Joey Bosa, and they offered him 8.
Oh my God. And then he got 12 and a half from Buffalo. Yeah, I have Azeez Ojulari, I have Za'Darius Smith, and I have Matthew Judon. And I have those three guys because besides Azeez, they're older and they'd be more rotational with Chubb, Phillips, and Chop in case, Phillips is still a little iffy. And I expect Chubb to be a full go. It's been a full year, so he should be good. Yeah.
One other name I left off in Kansas City, Charles. I can't say this last name. Omenihu. He's a pure end, not much of a sack guy, but he plays very good versus the run. Now, I know last year he got hurt, so once again, probably on our radar. And also, I think he had a suspension as well for personal conduct issues. Pretty good player for the Chiefs, and I don't think it cost a ton. Again, for him, it's more injuries and stuff off the field. Charles Omenihu. I can't.
Omenihu?
Yeah, he's again for what we're looking for. Someone not going to break the bank, but still be a solid player. I think you throw him in there because when it comes to tackle, outside of John Jenkins, who I actually love and I really hope we sign, or if we bring back Raekwon, that tackle market is so bare right now. They all got signed in the first 3 days, and there is not much left, Doug. There's almost nothing left at defensive tackle.
I wanted Levi, and he went back to Detroit. And so now all I got is John Jenkins, and like you said, that's it. And
I don't want Benito Jones back, but I have a feeling he will be back.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, he's a name that the Dolphins are going to try to bring back is Benito Jones. I think they also wanted Deshaun Hand, but he signed somewhere else.
Same with the Chargers stayed for like $3 million, which really wasn't that much. I'm like, maybe we should have spent some money, but who knows? Who am I? Clearly, they don't listen to me.
But the draft is deep at defensive tackle.
They're going to need a couple.
Yeah. But you can't draft 4 of them like we were saying before. You can't draft
4, but what I could see happening is trading down in round 1 and taking a guy from Michigan in round 1, and then you get some extra picks, and then maybe round 2 you take a safety, and then hopefully you get by trading down in round 1, hopefully get another pick in round 2 or 3, and maybe you take another tackle there as well as has like an offensive lineman. So if you get like right now they have 3 picks in the top 100. If they come away with 4, you could take 2 linemen on that side of the ball in the first 100 picks, and also mix in like a safety and linebacker, whatever else they do there. So yeah, I could see that. Offensive line, look, they're not going to get Mekhi Becton, which is too much money.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Brandon Sheriff. I mean, here's the deal. After they signed Liam, all these names are like worthless because I don't think they're going to keep signing. I mean, they've signed 3 offensive linemen. If you count the re-signing as 1, you have that. So that's 3. You have Patrick Paul, Aaron Brewer, Austin Jackson. Now you're at 6. They don't know what's going on with Armstead. I don't think he's coming back, even if he wants to. But okay, I mean he's still there technically. How many guys are you going to add? And say they take 1 in the draft. Say they take 1 early in the draft. Now you're at 7 or 8. I mean, it's like, are they going to sign Will Hernandez, Tevin Jenkins? Probably way too much money for either of those. Sheriff is 33, but he ain't going to come cheap. I don't know if they're probably going to re-sign Wynn, honestly.
Yeah, I wanted Tevin Jenkins, but I think he signed somewhere else.
No, there was a fake report he signed with Cincinnati, but it was
all right. Well, yeah, he's going to cost some.
A lot of people got fooled, including me. I will admit I got fooled because Omar was going today, what's going on with Tavon Jenkins? I go, he signed with Cincy. Then everyone jumped back. No, he didn't. And then someone said nicely, no, it was a fake report, Mike. I go, okay, thank you for letting me know nicely. You don't have to jump down my back. It's like, some of these ones that are fake are really tough. But no, he is unsigned. But again, he's going to want close to $10 million a year probably. And you know what? With what everyone's getting, he should ask for that.
I was going to say, if they do so, I'm very annoyed Miami sports. The Liam thing is in the back of my head.
Share that with you.
Yeah, it's in the back of my head. I'm trying to ignore it because I love hanging out with Mike and chatting, but it's just, I'm telling you, as soon as this ends,
I'm the same way. Look.
I'm going to rant like crazy. It's going to be like a 8-minute rant on my channel. If they add Tevin Jenkins, then I will feel better about Liam. Then I'm like, okay, our starting offensive line is Paul Jenkins, Brewer, Daniels, and Austin Jackson. Okay, I'm good. I'm not going to worry too much, but it's just. But then, even then, Daniel Brunskill, he's a guard that can play center. Yeah. You also have Greg Van Rotten. He's a guard that can play center. Did he sign?
I think he might have re-signed with the Giants or he's about to, but I know.
No, he did. Greg Van Rotten did, yeah.
Minnesota, their starting center, who I think can play guard, Bradbury, I think they're about to release him or they're trying to trade him. Again, he can play. He is their center, I believe, but he can play guard. He's someone, if he wants to play guard, if he's open to it.
Hey, we did the reverse with
Connor Williams.
Yeah. Why don't we just.
Exactly. So, there's guys out there. It's just, What are they willing to spend? Here's the deal, too. They're almost out of salary cap space. Are they going to restructure Jordan Brooks? Forget Tua. We know that's the elephant in the room. Are they going to at least restructure someone like Jordan Brooks to get cap money? Otherwise, they don't have much more money here to make too many more moves. It's going pretty quick. I don't have the official number because there's a few deals we don't have numbers on. I don't know if we have the numbers yet for the guy for the Bears we signed like the first day. Well, it's not signed, but said we were about to sign.
The offensive lineman, right? Or
yeah. Larry Borum. I haven't seen those numbers. Liam numbers I haven't seen. I don't think I saw numbers today for Britt or Madison. So they got to be getting low. So maybe, either they've already restructured him and they haven't announced it yet, or they got to be getting close to restructuring Jordan Brooks. If they restructure Tua now, it'd be a little bit of a head scratcher because why wouldn't you do that like on Monday and be in play for maybe guys who are a little bit better? To do it after some of these guys have signed, be a little bit of a head scratcher, but it's Chris Greer, so who do I know?
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. I had something.
Yeah, no, I get it. Running backs, I had names, but after we signed this guy, J.K. Dobbins, Nick Chubb, and Hunt, we're done there.
It would be nice, but yeah.
It'd be nice, but it's not happening. Tight end, let me see.
Trade.
Out there.
Trade for Michael Mayer. You really want to make me happy? Send a fourth and get Michael Mayer.
Exactly, because we're going to whiff on the fourth anyways. Let's just be honest. Plus, we got two of them. Trade one of the fourths for Michael Mayer. Save me the aggravation on that Saturday having to watch Chris Greer screw it up. I'm with you there. But yeah, so here's the deal. Everyone's asking, what am I going to do? Am I really going to shut this down? Here's what I'll say right now, and I'm going to go on the record.
How about this? He wants to, but I won't let him. All right? How about that?
No. I'm going to do what Chris Greer's done. I'm taking a page out of Chris Greer's playbook with some of the stuff he's done with these contracts. I'm kicking the can down the road. If Liam Eichenberg's on the opening day roster, then I'll shut the site down. If he gets cut in training camp or at the end of training camp, then we're all still good. So we're going to play this out between now and like the first week of September, whenever they got to make their final cuts prior to week 1. If he's still on the team, then I might shut this thing down. But
I'll buy it and then I'll take it over.
I don't know if you can afford it, Doug. No.
I can't. They don't have to know that.
I did how many taxes last week on this thing. Let me tell you something.
You just put my face on it.
Yeah. But the point is, let's wait and see if he makes it out of training camp. If he makes it out of training camp, then I'll have to do serious soul searching.
Yeah, right.
But no, I'm not going to shut down right now. At least we'll see how this goes. But it's been an eventful week. Again, they've done churn at the bottom of the roster, which I do like the safety room. Well, I don't love any of those guys. It is new faces. So to a certain level, now they need a shining star. As much as everyone didn't like Holland at the end, and he didn't play well last year, he still has elite traits.
Yes.
And he can play at a high level, which you would hope he would have returned to. Mm-hmm. But they have to replace that. Mm-hmm. And if it's him and if it's Melifanu, I'm fine, and we just got to hope Melifanu can stay mm-hmm. healthy. And I'm okay there. Linebacker, for the most part, I'm okay. Yes, they still need, if they get a Jihad Campbell, it's going to be great, but they're okay there. The line, we had said they need a ton of help, and that has to be priority one now, even more so. Offensive line, James Daniels healthy. We can maybe get that last piece in the draft, either round 1 or 2, maybe. I don't know. Wide receiver depth is improved. Running back depth, in my eyes, it's improved. I know some people don't like Madison too much. It's improved. So some areas are like, okay, they've just more churned the bottom of the roster, which I'm okay with. Quarterback room, look, as I said, Zach Wilson still might suck, but it's a scratch-off lottery ticket. You're hoping you just got Sam Darnold 2.0, and if you did, that's great. And honestly, in a perfect world, he never plays, but we know it's probably unlikely too. But yeah, all right, Doug. That's all for today. Everyone, be sure to check out Doug Lee Do Wrong. You know where to find him. Go to YouTube, search Doug Lee Do Wrong. Plus, I've been putting all of his videos each and every day up on our website at DolphinsTalk.com. Follow him on Twitter, X at Doug Lee Do Wrong. It's fun following Doug because some fans can get under his skin, and when he goes off like that one guy, I blocked him. He's still commenting.
He's still bothering. But it's not bothering me. I don't see it, but he's bothering other people.
That's why we did that show last month about social media in sports in the age 2025 for assholes like that guy.
Exactly.
Because that's what the world has come to, and it's crazy. You can follow me on all social media at Dolphins Talk. Check out the website, DolphinsTalk.com. And we'll see how this plays out in training camp with Liam. We'll see. Stay tuned. Everyone, have a great Thursday night. Have a great Friday. We'll talk to you again after a while. And folks, don't forget, we must put an end to highway profanity.